यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुञ्ज विहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्ट सखी वृंद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की जय श्री श्री पंचतत्व की जय श्री प्रह्लाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय परित पावन गुरु महाराज की जय समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2 Chapter 9 Text 14 and 15. Okay, so we'll do word for word 14 and then we'll go to 15. śrīḥ yatra rūpiṇī urugāya-pādayoḥ karoti mānaṁ bahudhā vibhūtibhiḥ preṅkhaṁ śritā ya kusumākara anugaiḥ vigīyamānā priya-karma-gāyatī. The goddess of fortune, in her transcendental form, is engaged in the loving service of Lord's lotus feet. And being moved by the black bees, flowers of spring, she is not only engaged in variegated pleasure, service to the Lord, along with her constant companions, but is also engaged in singing the glories of the Lord's activities. Text 15. Dadarsha tatrakhila sattvatam patim śrīyah patim yajñapatim jagatpatim sunandananda prabalarhanādibhiḥ svaparshadagraiः parisevitam vibhum dadarsha tatrakhila sattvatam patim śrīyah patim yajñapatim jagatpatim sunandananda prabalarhanādibhiḥ svaparshadagraiः parisevitam vibhum dadarsha tatrakhila sattvatam patim śrīyah patim yajñapatim jagatpatim sunandananda prabalarhanādibhiḥ svaparshadagraiः parisevitam vibhum Dadarsha Brahma saw Tatra, there in Vaikuṇṭha loka, Akhila, entire, Sattvatam, of the great devotees, Patim, the Lord, Śrīḥ, of the goddess of fortune, Patim, the Lord, Yajna, of sacrifice, Patim, the Lord, Jagat, of the universe, Patim, the Lord, Sunanda, Sunanda, Nanda, Nanda, Prabala, Prabala, Arhana, Arhana, Adivihi, by them, Swaparshada, own associates, Agraihi, by the foremost, Parisevitam, being served in transcendental love, Vibhum, the great Almighty. Translation: Lord Brahma saw in the Vaikuṇṭha planets the personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of the entire devotee community, the Lord of the goddess of fortune, the Lord of all sacrifices, and the Lord of the universe, and who is served by the foremost servitor like Nanda, Sunanda, Prabala, and Arhana, his immediate associates. Purport: when we speak of a king, it is naturally understood that the king is accompanied by his confidential associates like his secretary, private secretary, aide-de-camp, ministers, and advisors. So also when we see the Lord, we see him with his different energies, associates, confidential servitors, etc. So the Supreme Lord, who is the leader of all living entities, the Lord of all devotee sects, the Lord of all opulences, the Lord of sacrifices, and the enjoyer of everything in his entire creation, is not only the Supreme Person, but is also surrounded by his immediate associates, all engaged in their loving transcendental service to him. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Svavadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta-padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So it appears that there is a description of Lord Brahma after performing austerities for 1,000 celestial years. The Lord was pleased with him and he showed him Vaikuṇṭha. And he's seeing how glorious Vaikuṇṭha is, how the people are, how the devotees are eager to do service. It looks like he was seeing Mayapur. The beautiful Mayapur. Devotees are eager to do seva. They are always thinking. There is an interesting point. In the word to word, Srila Prabhupada is translating the word agraihi. This is by the foremost. Yeah. They are eager to do service. We see this very much in Mayapur. Yeah, that's why Mayapur is the celestial dham, is the transcendental dham. And we are seeing every day as this Purushottam month is going on, about 11 o'clock in the morning, then Shishurada Madhava, they come out on the stage. They have been placed on this kalasha. We are offering the 16 items. So the first day when we started, it was just the things that was organized by the temple. The second day you see, somebody brings some more flowers. Third day you see some more flowers and some tulasi. Fourth day you see more flowers, more tulasi. Fifth day you see flowers, tulsi, and somebody brought some bhoga. And next day you see flowers, tulsi, bhoga, and somebody starts bringing garlands. And it's just like increasing. And here he says, Shriya Patim. When Srila Prabhupada was here in Sridham Mayapur, when he placed the deities, their name was given as Shri Radha Madhava. Madhava means husband of Lakshmi. So that's the Shripati. There's Yajnapatim, the Lord of the sacrifice. So from the day when, if we hear the history of Sridham Mayapur, there has been a lot of sacrifices involved. Not just the fire sacrifice, but also devotees, sacrificing their lives. A lot of energy has been put into getting all this land. Right? We have about 700 acres plus amount of land. The energy that goes in protecting this land, the energy that went into building up this beautiful city. A lot of sacrifice has been involved. Yajnapatim, Jagatpatim. Yeah. Sometimes it's an interesting experience. When you go out to Kolkata, you don't have to go very far, right? You go out to Kolkata, you spend a day doing your, some work, some shopping for anything. And then when you are on your way back, you had a great day in Kolkata. It's not that you had a bad day. You had a nice time. And then when you come back, you're tired, but it's okay, you had a nice day. But then when you reach about like Navadvip area, you start feeling good. Right? Then when you cross Ganga and you enter Mayapur, you start feeling better. And then when you actually enter the ISKCON campus, that's when you're feeling at home. Right? Oh, I'm back. I'm finally back. Why? Because the entire universe lies within the the ISKCON campus of Sridham Mayapur. You feel like, oh wow, this is good. And when we were serving in Gurukul, we experienced this many times. You would go out to Kolkata for some shopping. And you would eat sometimes over there. There's this Lakshmi Narayan temple, there's an ISKCON temple, you eat over there. It's okay. Sometimes you had those nice mishti doi, the rasagullas, all those nice sweets in Kolkata. It's good. But there is no satisfaction involved. You don't feel like, your stomach is full, but your heart feels empty. And then we would come back at night, sometimes it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. You come back to Gurukul, and they have saved some rice, some sabji, some dal from lunch. It's already cold. It's been sitting over there for a few hours. But when you eat that at late night, you feel satisfied. Yeah. Why? Because your heart is accustomed to eating prasad. Eating over there, of course, you thought about the Lord, you offered it, but it doesn't give you the same satisfaction that when you come back to Mayapur and you have, even the prasadam is cold, it's not hot, but that satisfaction that you receive just by eating that is much greater in comparison than you eating all those nice sweets out there in Kolkata. So why that happens? Because Radha Madhava, they are the Jagatpati. So you get the Ishripati, Yagyapati, Jagatpati, all in one here in Sridham Mayapur. Mayapur feels like Vaikuṇṭha. And at the same time, what makes it so special, it's not the deities in Sridham Mayapur that make it so special. It's actually those devotees who are working hard to please those deities here in Sridham Mayapur. Right? You see, there are so many deities around the world. So many. Why is Mayapur so special? Why is Vrindavan so special? What becomes... Okay, it's the holy dham. Fine, good, great. Who knew about Sridham Mayapur around the world before Srila Prabhupada? Not many people. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Yugavatara. Yeah, he's the Lord of the entire Yuga, the whole Kali Yuga. Okay, good. How many people knew about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? I remember when I was in my 7th grade in school, then we had a chapter about the saints of India, right? And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his name was there as a part, as a great personality. Our principal was a South Indian Brahmin of the school, but he omitted the chapter. There's no need to teach this in the school. So we didn't even get taught about the sadhus in India and about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like, not important. Remove this chapter. No need to teach them. Otherwise, it may hurt the sentiments of the Muslims and the Christians and all those kind of people. So we didn't even get to hear about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in school. But what made Mayapur Dham so special is Srila Prabhupada going out in Prithvite Ache Jata Nagaradi Gram and doing the Sarvatra Prachara Hoibe Mora Naam, right? And getting everybody involved. And we have about 700 temples and centers and more centers probably around the world, right? So it's the devotees who make it so special. Among the Sri Vaishnavas, they consider there are 108 Divya Deshams, right? There are 108 temples of the Lord, which are, most of them are self-manifested forms, and they are very, very special. And you ask them, why are those deities so special? There are hundreds of other deities around India. Why are these 108 ones considered as Divya Desham? And they say, because the alvars, or who are the devotees of the Lord within the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, they glorified those lords, right? And they have their rankings, rank number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 100, 108. So why is this particular devotee number 1? This is because all of these acharyas have sang songs in glorification to this deity. All of them, every single one of them. So that's why he's number 1. That's Ranganath Swami in Sri Rangam. He's number 1. Then couple of them did not sing for Tirupati Balaji. So that's why he's at number 2. So the glory of the Lord is based on how the devotees are glorifying him. Right? That's why Krishna, he explains to Narada Muni. He says, if somebody directly approaches me saying that he is my devotee, I don't even consider him as my devotee. No. It's okay. But if somebody says that he is the devotee of my devotee, who is my, so like that, then I consider him as my devotee. Why? Because this devotee is glorifying that devotee. So that's why Krishna is in love with this devotee. So he said, oh, he's mine, he's mine. There is a story of a devotee in Maharashtra. His name was Gaura. And he is a pot maker. Kumbhar. He's a Gaura. Pot maker, simple fellow. And he's constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord. Constantly. And at the same time, he's a pot maker, doesn't have that much money. He's a simple pot maker. And he's maintaining himself. He's glorifying the Lord, but his qualification is, he's also glorifying the devotees of the Lord a lot. So Krishna, he was so pleased with his devotion, he said, I want to go and serve him. If Krishna will appear as Krishna himself, will he be able to serve him? No. So what he does, he takes the form of a Shudra. And he goes to him. He says, my Lord, I need some work. Can you maintain me? He says, look, I am a poor person. I don't have that much money that I can maintain you. I'm barely maintaining my family. No, please, I need some work. I know you are engaged a lot in serving Krishna. I will not disturb you in that. I will go to the market and do the sales. I will help you in making the pots. Okay? Immediately Garuda Dev was also there. I'm not going to leave my Lord alone. So Garuda Dev cannot come as Garuda Dev. So what did he become? He became a donkey. Right? He became a donkey. And Lord as a Shudra is saying, I have a very strong donkey. So he can carry all the pots. You don't have to carry it on your head. Okay, fine, no problem. So he's there making his, his pots. And in doing the pot making, you have to, they had to mush it with his foot. The mud, the clay, to make it nicely mushed and, nice mixture. And he's just constantly thinking about Krishna. And mushing the mud and like that. And Krishna, with Garuda Dev, with all the pots on his back, they go to the market, do the sales, come back, bring the money, support him. And he's taking care like that. Of course, it's a very, very long story where while mushing, the mud, his small little baby, he had a toddler. This baby comes crawling, baba, baba, baba. But the devotee is completely engrossed in chanting the holy name. Unfortunately, the baby came in the mud, and he mushed the baby in the mud. The baby died, bodily parts fell apart. The mother of the baby freaked out. So, lost all faith in Krishna. How can he do this to our child? A typical scenario. My husband is working so hard, he is always glorifying Krishna, and Krishna didn't protect my child. So, God doesn't exist. Otherwise, how can something happen to us like this? Okay, so the first thing to do is break the deity of the Lord. Right? He's a pot maker. He has nice clay deity of the Lord. He wants to throw it and break it. And the husband goes, no, I'm sorry. I didn't notice. It's my mistake. It's not the mistake of the Lord. Let me protect. Please don't do. I'll take care. And she said, oh, don't touch me. No, please, you try to understand. Don't touch me. No, please understand. So, I gave you promise on Krishna, if you touch me. Okay, Krishna, I can't touch, okay. Throws it on the ground. A devotee is not going to allow the deity to be broken in front of him. Jumps it, grabs it, hugs it. Oh my Lord, are you okay? You've been taken care of, you're nothing. Okay, you're fine. Placed him back on the altar. Offered some flowers, some tulsi. My Lord, please forgive. The lady's anger is gone down. And then, she's feeling bad. She wants to come and give a hug to the husband. Sorry. You said, on the name of Krishna, you can't touch me. I can't touch you. Sorry. We just lost our child. Sorry. I'm feeling bad. Sorry. Why did you name Krishna? It could have been anybody else. But you named Krishna. Sorry, I can't. Okay. There is no support. Fine. A chaste lady. Continued living with the husband. And she said, we need a child in the house. Now he's not going to touch me. We can't have a child. Why don't you get married again? So I don't want to bring a how to say, a rival for you. No, no, no. Do one thing, get married to my younger sister. And my sisters will live together. Yeah, no problem. Sure, no problem. Got married. Now the mother of both these girls, she's saying, you are taking very nice care of my daughter. You tell, I know you love my elder daughter very much. But on the name of Krishna, you tell me that you're going to treat my younger daughter the same way you're treating my elder daughter. On the name of Krishna. Sure, lady, why not? Can't touch her either. What happened? Immediately they figured out in the house in a few days. He can't touch any of them. Okay. Service to the Lord goes on. He's making the pots. Krishna is going there selling the pots with Garudadev as the donkey. Krishna says, yeah, this much test is not enough. He has passed this test, that I took away the child from him. I need to give him something more. So there was another devotee whose name was Dhyaneshwara. So he was famous because at the age of 5, he sat on the lap of the Lord and fed him. We also have a story with this boy with a stick in Alalnath. You have to eat, otherwise, my father said, oh, I can eat only after you eat, and the deity is not eating. For days, he's hungry. Finally, after a few days, he picked up a stick. I will hit you. I will beat you if you don't eat now. So Krishna immediately appears, understanding the innocence of the child and his commitment to his father's words that he's not going to eat anything unless the deity has eaten. Right? So, Dhyaneshwara is famous for that. He is fed. So wherever he would go, the pujaris would ask him to do bhoga offering. Because they know if he is feeding, for sure the Lord is going to eat. So this Dhyaneshwara, he comes to Dwaraka. He's feeding the Lord. The Lord is not there. Why? He's with Garuda there, serving this Gora, the pot maker. It's like, why is Lord not eating? Sits down in meditation, sees Garudadev is a donkey, Lord is a Shudra working with God. It's like, what? Comes to meet him. It's like, what are you doing? What am I doing? Gora, you don't understand what you have done. Sorry, I'm just going on with my regular day. I don't know what I have done. He says, the Shudra in your house and the donkey is none other than Krishna, Dwarakadhish and Garudadev. What? No, that can't be true. Yes. Oh, sorry. Runs to the market. Krishna is not there. He's gone. Says, what am I supposed to do? I've made such a big offense. Okay, I'm going to go to Dwaraka, and unless and until I serve Krishna, I'm not going to eat or drink anything. Went, the wives followed. Wife went around, brought something to eat. No, I can't eat unless I see Dwarakadhish. Okay. Let's cook. Keep it ready. When Dwaraka, you take darshan of Dwarakadhish, then we can immediately eat. Okay, no problem. So they cooked something. He's trying to go to Dwaraka, he's not able to go. Fine. This is not if Krishna, I'm not able to go, Krishna has to come. He's not allowed to go inside. He's a Shudra. Not allowed to go. And Krishna has to come. He came and became a Shudra in my house. Now, unless he personally comes, I'm not. Okay? So Krishna comes in the form of a sadhu. He says, oh, you are a grihastha, you should maintain me. I'm hungry. Can you feed me? Yeah, sure, here. Prasadam is ready. Goes first day, second day, he comes as a beggar. Please. Okay. Third day, he comes as a dog. He's also fed. But The devotees are not eating anything. He's just waiting for Krishna. And then Krishna was so pleased. He actually appeared to him with his devotion and embraced him. And then, personally took him to Dwaraka, inside the temple. They said, no, but no nonsense like this. That nobody should be stopped from coming to my temple. So from that day on, in Dwaraka temple, no stop for anyone. Just anybody can come, take darshan like that. So what do we see is the eagerness that the devotees have to serve. And because of that, the Lord becomes the servant of the servant. And He enjoys being the servant of the devotees. If you see the Radha Madhava Panchatattva, they are very big deities, right? And the garlands that they are being offered, just if we take an example of garlands, every day, if you see, the flowers are not big. Sometimes, you see the lotuses are big. But, you get those tube roses, you get the small roses, you get, all those small flowers, and all these different Matajis they are sitting there making. Sometimes you see all these fancy mukut pieces with flowers on it. It takes them 3 days to go around Mayapur and collect those flower buds, right? And to collect those flower buds, there is a lot of competition between the Matajis, right? So if they want flower buds, they got to wake up at 1 o'clock at night, get ready by 2 o'clock, and by 2 o'clock they are already at the tree plucking flowers, because otherwise somebody else is going to take it, right? So then they are basically stealing the flowers from each other, doing that, and eventually they make this nice flower turban pieces and offer it to the Lord. You see these tulsi garlands, they're like that fat and about 2.5, 3 meters long. It takes a lot of endeavor to do that. And you see these Matajis, they do it every day. Right? They find some ways to come and serve Krishna. And what do they get in return? Do they get money for it? No. Do they get, some praise for it? No. Sometimes the pujaris are like, hey Mataji, stop harassing us. Because, other things like, oh, you're not putting my garland properly. I'm not able to see my garland. The pujaris get annoyed. There are like 20 garlands. How are we supposed to make sure everybody is seen? But they still do it every day. Right? They are putting that endeavor. What do they get from it? The only thing is, I am being able to offer this small service to Radha Madhava every day. The pujaris we have serving Radha Madhava, they are been here. The youngest one is 12-year-old. He's been a pujari for past 12 years. 12 years. Jananivas Prabhu, 52 years. Same deity, same service, same temple. No change at all. And, now, he gets a lot of recognition from the devotees. He walks around, people paying obeisances and wanting. But if you see, he's not a high-profile person. He comes there dressed very simple. No, the fancy attitude of he is the head pujari of the world headquarters. No, a simple brahmachari comes, very simple, pays obeisances, doesn't go around, hey, so how are you? Hey, notice that I'm around. No, doesn't do that. Comes, does his service. And what goes around in his mind, we had this discussion with him about this monthly Narasimhadev Abhishek. And then we said, we'll have it all the way from Gaur Purnima up to Kartik Purnima, 8 months of the year. And then 4 months of winter season, then we will not have, because we have lamps and, it's very cold inside Narasimhadev's altar. It's black stone. So when it's summer, it's very hot. When it's winter, it's very cold. So, the puja is, we have 2 heaters inside. It's still not warm enough. It's cold inside, right? So, during that 4 months, we will not have Abhishek. So first he agreed. Few days later, he says, I'm not able to, imagine. I'm not able to think. If we are having this Abhishek, we should have it throughout the year. But Prabhu, it's very cold. Yes, I know. I've been thinking it for past few days. He's like 79 years old. He has taken a step back from service because of his physical condition. But mentally, he's constantly thinking of how to serve the Lord. How I can do it, how to make it better, how to make it, more pleasing for Radha Madhava. That's what he's always thinking. I never thought of, something do for me. There was, I think it was 8 years ago, when they went out for the first time on this America tour to collect funds for TOVP. They collected a lot of funds. But devotees, they gave personal donations to Jananivas Prabhu. And it added up to be few lakh of rupees. Right? He could have put it aside, created a bank account. He just immediately took the whole thing and gave it to Brajavilas Prabhu. He says, use it for TOVP. He kept not a single paisa for him. Why? Because he's not worried that what's going to happen to him. Right? Many times we complain, we know how ISKCON management works. They will take care of you as long as they want. And then when they don't want you, they'll flick you out like a dirt from the, from the milk or something. Nobody cares. So you should have some backup support. Right? I would say 99% of ISKCON devotees think like that. You should take care of yourself, have some backup support. What if you get thrown out of ISKCON? What if? And there has been hundreds of examples, for us to feel that way. But somebody who is dedicated to the Lord, day in and day out, thinks of nothing else. Right? Lakhs of rupees, gave it away. Let Radha Madhava, serve Radha Madhava, let the temple be built as soon as possible. And then, Brajavilas Prabhu said, no, these are your personal money. They gave it for you. They did not give it for TOVP. For TOVP they gave, this is for you. What am I going to do with it? So finally they made a dress for Radha Madhava. Right? All the money went on making a beautiful dress for Radha Madhava. So that's the consciousness of agraihi. It says, what is the word? Agraihi swaparshada parisevitam. Those own associates who are coming forward and serving the Lord in transcendental love. It's not, it's my responsibility, it's my duty. No, it's beyond all that. It's love. Right? And love has no, returns or thoughts about, I want something back. Yeah, condition. Right, that's the word. Thank you. Love has no conditions. It's unconditional. You love somebody because you just love somebody. You don't need a reason to love someone. I love him because he takes care of me. No. You're grateful because he's taking care of you. But you don't love someone because of something. You love somebody because you just love someone. And this is a transcendental love. It comes, sometimes, like the gopis, they said, Brahma has 4 heads, but he has no brain. I said, why? Brahma has no brain? He said, yes. Why? He said, because he made Krishna so beautiful, and he made this, this eyelids, which blinks. And when it blinks, we can't see Krishna. Seriously? Have you ever noticed that you blink? Or like you missed out on something because you blinked? No, you don't. You just go on with life. It's like, it's like you don't even notice it that you blinked. But the gopis, they said, he got no brain. Because when my eyelids are blinking, I'm not able to see Krishna. What amount of love they have. Krishna has a headache. Sure, take our dust. He wants the dust from our feet to be put on his head. Sure, take it. Narad Muni says, you'll go to hell. That's okay. But Krishna will have no headache. And headache is not a big thing. You can survive a headache. Right? You go to sleep, you drink some water. You can survive a headache. It's not that, you're getting a liver transplant or something. It's a headache. But they are ready to go to hell and suffer in hell just so that Krishna doesn't have a headache. Right? That is the amount of love. And what Krishna does with that? He drops them and goes to Dwarka for eternity, right? I will come back, I'll come back. He said that, I'll come back. Sure, I will come back. Never went back. Of course, there are pastimes that he never left Vrindavan. That's another story. But he left, never came back. And they are all still waiting. He'll come back because he said he will. Why? Because it says love is blind. You just do service. Agraihi, you're coming forward. I want to do. I'm eager. What can I do? Like the story of Hanuman. The four brothers, Bharat, Lakshman, Shatrughna and Sita Devi, they said, okay, Hanuman has done enough service. Let him take a break. We will do the service. Hanuman said, at least give me one seva. Like what? When Lord Ramchandra is yawning, like, oh, I will flick fingers. Okay, none of us thought of that service. Sure, you can have it. Right? He's eager to do seva. Yeah. Oh, we don't go to the temple. Why? Oh, there is no service for us. Everything. No. There is a lot of service. Just we should be able to find. Shyamananda Pandit, Shyamananda Pandit, he found a seva of sweeping Nidhivan. Nobody thought of that. But he thought, okay, let me sweep. Why? Because he's eager to do service. You do service to the Dham, you do service to the devotees, you do service to the Lord. It's all the same. Krishna is happy. So, as Rupa Goswami explains, yena kena prakarena manaha Krishna niveshayet. Do whatever you want to do to bring Krishna in your mind and heart. Do anything. Just Krishna should be in your mind and heart. And he should be pleased with what you are doing. Like Kamsa, he was thinking of Krishna whole time. Like, how can I kill him? But Krishna even, he accepted that. Yeah, he accepted that. Okay, sure, no problem. That's why after he died, he went back to Godhead. Because he even to kill Krishna, is constantly thinking of Krishna. So, Lord Brahma, what he's seeing here, what has been explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, is for us to take it into our life and see how we can become one of his immediate associates who have a transcendental love, eagerness to serve him. And nobody can stop us doing that. We want to do service to the Lord no matter what. There is no strength in the entire creation that can stop us from serving Krishna. Temporarily, maybe, possible, but not for too long. It depends on how much we want to serve Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, anybody has any comments or questions? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful class. So, in the translation, there are mentions of his associates, Sunanda, Nanda, Prabhala. So, can you tell anything about them? Like, are they associates in Dwarka or Vrindavan or like?
No, they are the Vaikuṇṭha Vasis.
Okay, Vaikuṇṭha.
Yeah, they're speaking about Vaikuṇṭha. Many times, even they are the ones. They were the ones who came to take Ajamila. So they are very, very close associates of the Lord. So they do all these special things. They are Vaikuṇṭha Vasis.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful class. Prabhuji, you mentioned about that pastime of Gora. So we heard it that small child which was crushed during that mud making. So he was revived. I heard it.
Huh?
That child.
Yeah, Krishna revived him. But that was after a long time. Krishna revived the child, they got their child back. And Krishna also told them, from now on, if somebody tells you, on the name of Krishna, you don't have to follow. You should not follow. So, then his Grihastha ashram went well as well. Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you for bringing that point up. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, you can hear? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you mentioned the 16 upacharas. Can you please elaborate a little bit about why those specific articles are pleasing to the Lord?
Okay.
As opposed to...
So what is the 16 upacharas and why are they important and why are those specific 16 upacharas offered? Okay. So among the 16 upacharas, the first one is asana. So you are inviting the Lord, you're giving him a place to sit. Then, it's somebody comes to your house, you say, yeah, please come, have a seat, welcome, how are you? So the second one is swagatam, welcome. Now, because he is a special person, right? He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's a special person. That's why you wash his feet. Generally, when you go out traveling, when you come back home, you should wash your feet. It's very refreshing, right? Just because wash your feet, your whole body feels quite, has a pleasing sensation. It's refreshing. So that's why, he's a special person, so you don't say, yeah, that's the wash basin, you go wash your feet. No, you make him sit down, you wash his feet. And so you wash his feet with all varieties of nice things, so he feels refreshed. When the person is more special, then you offer him this arghya. The arghya offering is you take it around him, and then you pour it in his hand so he can sprinkle himself. So that's an arghya. It's done to somebody who is very special person. More special person or very special person. Then there is a refreshing drink called madhuparka. So you offer madhuparka to the Lord. It's a mixture of milk, yogurt and honey. And Rupa Goswami gives it as 1 part milk, 1 part yogurt, 3 parts honey. So it's nice and sweet and so a lot of sugar goes inside, you feel quite refreshed. So that's a madhuparka. You give that, and once, because he has that, you have to wash his hands, mouth. So you give him achman again. So achman before madhuparka, achman after madhuparka. So that's your regular 7 upacharas that you offer to the most special person that has come to your house. So it's your seat, you're welcoming him, washing his feet, offering him arghya, offering him hand and mouth wash, achman, drink madhuparka, punarachman. So that's the regular 7 upacharas. Then he has come and would like to take a bath. So we bathe him, snaniyam, as the 8th offering. Since he has taken a bath, he needs to change his clothes. So that's why we offer him clothes. And he's known for wearing a lot of ornaments. So we offer him ornaments. After he is fully ready, I want to offer him some worship. So worship is done with offering him chandan, some flowers, incense, lamp. He must be hungry. So I want to feed him. So I offered him naivedya. And once these 15 are done, he's satisfied, I offer my pranams. So these 16 are considered as the Shodasha Upachara. You worship you worship anybody, you offer these 16 upacharas. But that's a regular interaction between anyone. Yeah? Yes, Prabhuji.
Before bathing, they offered to Sugandha Tailam.
Yeah, that's part of the snaniyam. It's not one of the major upacharas. This is one of the sub-upacharas. There is also angamarjana. So, you're massaging the Lord's body and, you're taking off any kind of old chandan and this or that, any kind of dust. So that's all angamarjana. Then, you're offering him achman over there. So, but these are all sub-upacharas of the snaniyam upachara. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you for this really nice class. On the subject of devotional service, you mentioned that, you know, there's almost competition to do the best service, the most service, and so on. So I have a question about people who come to the Dham, they're new, they are trying to do some service. How do we, is there any system to engage those who want to do service? How are they supposed to go about getting some service?
Okay, so here in Sridham Mayapur, we have this department called SRD. I don't know the full form. Seva Resource Department, SRD. So over there, you tell them, you know, what seva you want to do and what is your qualification. And then based on that, you know, I think every month or every 2-3 months, they circulate these names into every department. Any departments want to, you know, hire any of these devotees, then they get hired. And then it becomes their seva.
So this is called the Seva Resource
Department.
And where is it located?
Chakra building,
Okay.
long building.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So when you're walking down the Chakra building, you will see these different boards, the signboards. So one of them is says Seva Resource Department.
Braj Vinod Shampru,
Yeah.
he's the one who takes.
Okay? Anything more? Okay, so we will end here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय, श्री श्री पंचतत्व की जय, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।